Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this from BD. In the foreseeable future, people receiving remittances will not know the money is settled via blockchains. People buying and selling stocks will not know the stocks are settled via blockchains. People buying goods from overseas will not know the goods they receive are tracked via blockchains. People buying a house will not know the purchasing and verification process is done via blockchains. People are going to be utilizing blockchain and crypto and not even know that it's happening. We will see that with mass adoption. You will be able to tell your normie friends you're using crypto one way or another very soon. Jamie Dimon says JP Morgan will enter the stablecoin space to understand it, to be good at it, as Citi and Bank of America explore similar moves. So now we see all these banks creating stable coins, and right away people are like, stable coins are going to become the XRP killer. But JP Morgan coin is not going to be accepted at Bank of America. So when they send JP Morgan coin anywhere, it's going to need a bridge like XRP. Goes in as JP Morgan coin to XRP to Bank of America coin. You know, all these stable coins, people are overreacting. They're like, stable coins are the future, not crypto. Not certain cryptocurrencies, but XRP will always be needed as a bridge. Standard Chartered says stablecoins overshadowed Bitcoin in discussions. $750 billion market size could trigger macroeconomic shifts. So what they're saying is, even though Bitcoin reached a new all-time high, people are talking more about stablecoins instead. That's because this time around, I don't know what it is. I even see it on X. There's not that enthusiasm for Bitcoin anymore. Not like there used to be. I remember every time Bitcoin would reach a new all-time high, the Bitcoin maxis were everywhere. But this time around, there's very little talk about Bitcoin reaching new all-time highs. I'm actually shocked by that. And they're not FUDing on XRP either. I think the FUD turned into FOMO. Banks hate SWIFT. Take a listen to this.
You have north of $20 trillion going cross-border each year. It is fraught with error rates, and it's slow, it's expensive. For me, it's a classic like Silicon Valley going up against the big behemoth Goliath, but it's so broken. I mean, when I go talk to banks, it's a beautiful thing for me because banks don't like SWIFT. They're frustrated with SWIFT. Their customers don't like SWIFT. And like, that's a great place to be.
Like I've been telling you, the banks don't like SWIFT. Their customers don't like SWIFT. Everybody wants an alternative to SWIFT. And this could also be why the banks are looking at Ripple and XRP as the solution. Remember, Morgan Stanley considers Ripple XRP as leading alternative to SWIFT. So when Morgan Stanley is saying this already, they're going to shift their customers away from SWIFT the first chance that they get. Same thing with Bank of America. Even JP Morgan's going to do the same thing because they don't want their customers to leave the bank. They want to keep their customers. So in order to do that, they have to push them over to the greatest alternative there is, RippleNet and XRP. That's how we win in the end. And this could be why companies are also creating treasuries around XRP as well. This comes from Smoke. XRP by holdings by public companies corporates are raising millions to add XRP as a primary treasury asset because they could actually utilize the asset. There's a big difference from going from holding something and hoping it goes up in value to holding something and using it on a daily basis. That's what makes XRP such a game changer. And that's how XRP will become the #1 cryptocurrency. That's going to happen. It's not, well, maybe it will happen at some point. No, it is going to happen. Bitcoin was only a test coin. XRP is the real deal. Massive crypto shift incoming. Arch Public CEO says these new crypto fortunes now in the hands of companies like Ripple. Take a listen.
Andrew made a very sly but very important point earlier about, these new crypto fortunes that have been found and now are in the possession of companies like Ripple. Where do you think all that money is going to go? It's going to go into mergers and acquisitions. I mean, it's going to go into broadening the network. It's going to go into building infrastructure. It's going to be going into making it easier to get people to own crypto, just like Bill's mission was. So it's
And that's what Ripple does. They make acquisitions, and they're consistently growing out and expanding. And as they're expanding, they're also improving the infrastructure as well. And this is all down the road to mass adoption. Ripple first gains institutional adoption. And with that institutional adoption, it will lead to mass adoption as well. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. If I had to put a timeline on mass adoption, I would say it begins within the next 24 months. I think the next 12 to 18 months is most likely all going to be institutional adoption. But as those institutions are coming into this space, you're going to start to see them open up options for merchants. They're going to be making deals of their own, expanding crypto into like every commercial building out there. In other words, Lowe's will be accepting crypto. Walmart will be accepting crypto as payment. Then it will trickle down to everyone else that's not in crypto yet, and they will be using it one way or another. XRP countdown begins. Analyst predicts explosive run to $11. So what they're saying here is this. They're saying once we break above a new all-time high, we are going to go on to hit $11. But I think some things still have to happen. And the same analyst is predicting Bitcoin only to reach roughly 125K. I think Bitcoin's top will most likely happen before 130K. I've been saying the same thing. Now we're starting to see the sell-offs already. And those sell-offs are going to come from so many different places. You're going to have whales selling off. Then you're going to have the money leaving the ETFs because the institutions, they will shift into something that they can actually utilize. They'll also shift into something that looks like it's going to provide a lot of gains going forward. And they're going to open up passive income options as well as we head into the future. But I think it's going to take a little bit of time to get to $11. But by the end of this year, I expect us to be in double digits already. And then I think the real big move is going to happen in January. I still think that's how this cycle will play out. John Squire says XRP is set to continue its bull run parabolically. According to Gert Van Lagen, XRP just bounced off the neckline of a 7-year double bottom, ascending triangle with a conservative price target of $38. So this might be just the beginning. And that's a conservative price point, $38. Most people are still predicting $50 plus, with a handful of people saying we are going to crush $50 like nothing. We're going to see 3 digits in this run. But it depends on where we are. Like right now, everybody thinks this is where we are. Other people think we're here with just this small piece of green candle from 2018. I think this move will happen in January. I think this move will happen leading us into January. So it just depends on where we are right now. That will determine how high we go during alt season. And I got to touch on this because a lot of people still don't realize what a hardware wallet is yet. It's like Decent, Ledger, and so on. Scared of hardware wallets? You should be more scared of leaving your assets with a company that can vanish overnight, get hacked, or comply with forced seizure. Nobody is going to seize your XRP. Your crypto isn't stored on a hardware wallet. It's stored on the blockchain. Your hardware wallet just stores your keys, access rights. If you don't hold the private keys, you don't control the asset. Exchanges can freeze, block, or lose your funds. Your wallet, it can't because it doesn't hold your crypto. It holds proof of ownership. Think of your hardware wallet like a vault key, not the vault. Lose the key, you're locked out. Let someone else hold it, like an exchange or private entity, you've given up control. Be proactive, not reactive. Protect your assets and hold your keys. This is what I've been telling you this entire time. You don't buy groceries at the grocery store and leave them behind. Don't buy your crypto on an exchange and then leave it behind. You gotta take control of your crypto, not your keys, not your crypto. And a lot of people would argue Coinbase is totally safe. Coinbase goes down every time Bitcoin achieves a new all-time high. Uphold is totally safe. I don't see any issues with Uphold, but I still want to be in control of my crypto and my keys. And I got to say this again. Stop interacting with the bots on this channel. I still see people doing it. Don't talk to the bots. I'm not going to be giving you a WhatsApp and telling you to click on this and click on that. You will end up losing your crypto. And there's going to be a lot of scams as crypto continues to rise in price. The scams are going to amp up with the rise in price. Anything that looks too good to be true, guess what? It's too good to be true. Nobody is doubling your XRP bag. And I stress this, especially for the new people that are just getting in to crypto. And like I said, you have to have a hardware wallet. You don't want to use the exchanges, especially if your exchange is not doing KYC, AML, know your customer, and anti-money laundering, because there's a good chance that when the bottleneck with the exchanges happens, and I think that's coming with regulations, that exchange will just fold up like an overnight event, and your crypto is gone. And I got to touch on this as well while I'm on this roll. I see so many people saying that the U.S. government is going to seize your XRP. The government is not going to seize or buy back your XRP. There's never going to be a need for a buyback because everybody's going to be selling off their XRP at different price points. And the institutions and the whales will be buying it up. That's why you don't want to sell too soon. But there's never going to be a government seizure of your crypto. It's especially if you have it on a hardware wallet. Oh, you're coming for my crypto? Well, I forgot the keys. I didn't write them down. I lost my passcodes. You know, it's like logical. It makes sense that they're never going to seize your XRP. You know, the government might utilize XRP to strengthen the US dollar, but they're going to get some of that escrow from Ripple, in my opinion. Same thing with the IMF and the central banks of the world. Just make sure you're holding when XRP blasts off. And until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.